What's up, everyone? So that's my Robert Small shirt, and I really love the Robert Small story. And for those who don't know or aren't familiar, please look him up. And this is the type of person in U.S. history, Black history, if you will, whatever, that movies should be made about. More stories should be told about. This is almost a real life James Bond. I mean, bigger than, any film that we've come across, and it would replace just movies like Django that I digress. I'm not a movie critic, so let me move on. Um, I get asked about these shirts all the time. I have a Bass Reeves shirt. I have an Emmett Till shirt. I have a Dr. King shirt. I have an Oda Benga shirt. If you're not familiar with any of these names, please look them up or ask me, and I can give you, brief synopsis. Um, but how do people feel who are not in my demographic when they come across somebody who's wearing these shirts? Because I get asked a lot of times about these shirts, and what happens a lot of times is somebody gets really interested and, wow, that's fantastic, I didn't know, and you can feel the genuine energy. Or I've come across some people who have been, somewhat dismissive. They realize, oh, I don't want to have this conversation, and so they kind of skip through it. I had one guy ask me where you could tell he was trying to size me up, almost kind of like when you see somebody wearing like a certain t-shirt for a band, but they don't know the songs. He was hoping I didn't know the songs, but I did. I know my stuff, and I'm not going to put something out there that I haven't at least gotten some topic matter on, some information on. So white, brown, uh, yellow, red, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern. How does that make you feel when you see somebody not of your demographic wearing something that empowers in a particular way? And I can say, for at first, like when I was seeing things like girl power, I was like, what do you mean girl power? Like, what's wrong? Boys too. And I think it was because when I taught in a dojo, I wanted to see my kids succeed equally. So it wasn't trying to suppress what girls go through. But then I realized the women's movement and just the oppression is great. So I understand the need to say girl power or have an empowering, movement through that. And if boys had one too, then I certainly understand that. But I get where girls do. When I go to the Dr. King March, I see representatives from different groups, the gay community. None of that is like, I don't want to say cringeworthy. It doesn't cause me to pause or think a certain way. I'm in full support of any group, provided that their motive and I guess their message is not one of hate towards other groups, or their actions are not to the detriment of other people. So express yourself, use your free speech, but yeah, if it's to the detriment of other people, I can't co-sign on that sort of behavior. So again, the question boils down to, and I'm really looking for honest answers, I'm looking for feedback. How does that make people feel? Because a lot of us have not had the privilege to grow up in households that were diverse enough to express that. And especially when you're talking about a group like blacks or black men in general, there doesn't seem to be a lot of empathy, and there's not a lot of learning in households that are of other demographics to say, like, wow, they've gone through a lot, let's give them their due, understand why. In the same way, we should grow to understand why, with the injustice that women have gone through with sexual assault, domestic violence, no justice when it comes to rapes, things like that. Just the angles that women have had to survive. Again, with the gay community, with people who choose to worship of different way. If you're disabled, there's just so many different demographics. But when you see someone, and I guess namely a black person wearing something, and even if you want to just say a Black Lives Matter shirt, how does that make you feel in particular? And I think it's more pointed when we're talking about blacks in America, because of the social unrest, of the continuing persecution, the murders, whatever you want to call it, the injustice. So, guys, I'm going to keep that short, but hopefully everybody is in a good place and this sparks a conversation that we can have. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what's going on with my YouTube page to where people can't comment. I didn't disable the comments myself, but Instagram and Facebook should give you a platform to respond. You know where to find me at Vincent, Alfonzo, Jamal, anywhere. Guys, have a fantastic day. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.